that we know why we want to move, when to move, and how often or how much time we need to move, let's talk about what we can do to move. Now, what do we want to do for movement? There's so many fun things we can do. And that's one of the most important things. Make it fun and enjoyable. Do something you love. Do something that excites you, that lights you up. If you're going to the gym and you're like, God, I don't want to be here. This sucks. I hate lifting weights. This is so boring. Well, then find something better to do with your time and energy. Whatever you do, enjoy what you do, because not only does that make it easier to then actually do it, it also helps to release certain endorphins in your body to just make you happier overall when you're doing something you love. Now, some of the most basic moves you can do are just simply walking. Walk your dog, go on a brisk walk for 20 minutes. Get your body moving in some gentle way. Another basic movement you can do is stretching. Oh, and I encourage you to stretch every single day. And let me tell you why it's important to stretch. So we have in our body what's called fascia. Fascia is an interconnected web that runs throughout our whole body, that wraps around the muscles and the organs and the bones and keeps everything in place. It's like the intelligent web of life that moves you. Now, when we sleep at night, fascia starts to congeal and get bundled up and tight. And so in the morning, it's highly important for us to stretch it out, move that fascia, get us open up. You know, and you probably have heard like, oh, you get old and you get unflexible and you can't move. Well, that's not in fact true. I believe, and even research shows, that we don't stop moving because we get old. We get old because we stop moving. So it's so important to move and stretch every single day. Now, those are some of the basic movements you can do. A step up from that is cardiovascular exercise. Cardiovascular exercise strengthens your heart. It flushes things out of your whole cardiovascular system. So what happens is plaque and other debris can build up in our vessels, and cardiovascular exercise flushes that out to keep us healthy and well. Cardiovascular exercise can be things like biking, swimming, running. Now let's talk about running here for a moment. Running is not best for all of us. In fact, running can be very detrimental to your body. If you have some sort of joint issues like your knees, maybe you've torn a ligament, or maybe you have some spinal pain, running might not be the best thing for you because that high impact is really going to aggravate your body and eventually cause harm and destruction to your joints. If you're overweight, running might not be the best thing for you either. So in those cases, I would suggest picking another form of cardiovascular exercise. Now, in addition to biking, swimming, and even running, other cardiovascular things you can do are hiking, an elliptical machine, a row machine, sex, That's a very fun one. Kickboxing. Did I say hiking? Hiking is very fun as well. My favorite form of cardiovascular exercise is dance, dance, boom, boom. Dance, dance, boom, boom. Check out my dance video down in the resources tab and get your groove on. There's an old saying, if you can walk, you can dance.
Killer hell, killer hell, killer killer hell, killer hell, killer killer hell, killer hell, killer killer hell. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold back with a roadblock, I might lose control. Killer hell, too hot to handle, too cold to hold back with a roadblock, I might lose control. Killer hell, featherweight contender, surrender, TKO, first round knockout, vex the big spinner. Too hot to handle, too cold to hold back with a roadblock, I might lose control.
The next form of exercise that can be very beneficial for you is resistance training. So what is resistance training? Resistance training is giving your muscles and your body resistance to push against or pull toward, or any kind of thing where you're applying resistance to your muscles. Now, resistance training doesn't have to be weights, although weights can be a very effective way to do resistance training, especially if you're training for some sort of athletic event or some sort of skill. Resistance training can be really good. But even things just as body weight training, body weight exercises such as push-ups, squats, pull-ups, even plank, do plank. That can all be really good, easy body weight exercises. In addition to weight and body weight exercises, cables and bands can be really good. You can get those at home and do easily with videos online. Another form of highly effective exercise that will get you great results in a small amount of time is high intensity interval training, or otherwise known as HIIT, H-I-I-T. High intensity interval training. Basically what you do is you sprint or you push it for about anywhere from 30 seconds up to a minute. You push it, you go hard, and then you rest or you go slower for anywhere from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. And you go back and forth, high intensity, low intensity, high intensity, low intensity. And you continue with that for about, I don't know, you can do it for 5 or 10 minutes and get an excellent workout with high intensity interval training. Now that brings up a really good point of when to be gentle with your workouts and when to be more intense. So let's talk about that. One last component to movement, if you don't feel like you want to move really fast or intensely, but you still need to feel good and get your body moving, is energy balancing. And there's a couple ways we can do that. One way, and one of my favorite ways, is yoga. Yoga is a system and philosophy developed in India. It's been around for thousands of years. Yoga is intended to harmonize and balance your system and your mind and your body. Check out Yogi Approved in the resources tab to get good access to yoga classes and fitness training. Another form of movement that can be very beneficial to balance out your system and harmonize your energy is Qigong. Qigong is very similar to yoga in ways that you're moving and your energy and balancing things out. It's just a different philosophy that dates back from China from thousands of years ago. So yoga and Qigong are two very effective forms of movement that you can do to balance out your energy, especially if you don't feel like going and doing some resistance training or some cardiovascular training or some of the high intensity training that I talked about. Yoga and Qigong are a good way to go. Here we're going to demonstrate some of the forms of yoga that can be beneficial for you and your health and wellness. The simplest and most easy can be known as restorative yoga or yin yoga. In restorative yoga and yin yoga, you're working on deep flexibility, allowing your body to relax and soften into positions, using the power of your breath to help open and transform your body. Yin yoga and restorative yoga are excellent for stress relief, anxiety reduction, sleep improvement, and overall health and well-being. Yin yoga and restorative yoga can be a great balance for other more active activities and exercises that you do, such as sports and lifting weights and cardiovascular exercises. Yin yoga and restorative yoga are an excellent balance. Another form of yoga that can be highly beneficial for you can be known as Iyengar yoga. BKS Iyengar developed this form of yoga to help support alignment and balance in all the muscles and bones and structures of the body. As with all forms of yoga, it can create a sense of calmness, peace, balance, and relaxation. And Iyengar yoga especially focuses on that. As we move up the scale of intensity with yoga, the next form of yoga that will be beneficial for you if you feel like you need more of a workout combined with your flexibility is called Vinyasa yoga. Vinyasa yoga is aligning the movement with the breath. Each breath leads you into the next movement, and you flow through a sequence of movements designed to open up, strengthen, stretch, and harmonize every part of your body and your mind with your breath. If you're looking to find more strength in your yoga practice, very similar to Vinyasa yoga is Yoga Sculpt. Yoga Sculpt is like Vinyasa, where you're flowing with your breath, with your movement, but you add in weights into the practice. This practice can be very invigorating, strengthening, and all the while balancing to the body. Another form of yoga that can be beneficial for you and your health and wellness can be known as hot yoga or Bikram yoga. Bikram yoga is a series of 26 postures held for an extended amount of time, each posture, also intended to balance and harmonize your whole system, as well as detoxify your body. Bikram or hot yoga is done in a hot temperature room anywhere from 95 to 104 degrees. Another form of energy movement you can do is called Qigong. Very similar to yoga, Qigong balances and harmonizes the whole system. It's a way to move the energy in your body. Qigong is based on Chinese medicine. It's been practiced for thousands of years. Qigong is the root of many martial arts. So those are some of the ways that you can move your body.